Hello everyone, welcome back to our final video for our Unity maze project. This is the maze that I put together. It's not overly complex. I just took all the pieces we made and just kind of pieced them together and make this little bit of a gambit for them to go through to find the key, and the door is on this side, which they might not start near. They'll have to find the door as well. The animation is in there, so the doors open and close. Something I want to note is that I also took all the little end plates that I created for one of the elbows in the hallways and used that to close off all the open corridors. So everywhere you come to what would have been an empty corridor would just have this single plane breaking off um, the way out through that particular juncture. Um, okay, so also I wanted to note is that moving these doors around, getting this junction box here fit in there. Um, since they were skinned, I was getting double transformations. So just a mental note that when you are moving this junction box with these doors and joints attached to it, for it to be able to rotate and move and not get double transformations from the animation, you want to select this guy, each one of these, delete the history, and then that will make it to where they're not skinned to these joints anymore. And then you can move the box into position, then just select the joint, select the base mesh, reskin it in there, and it'll work just fine. So nothing changed, not anything new, just one little errand to do for that to work correctly. Okay, so let's go ahead and start sending these pieces over to Unity and get our scene set up over there. First thing I'm going to send over there is going to be this key. I'll go to File, Export Selection, and we'll just call this one Final Key, Export Selection. That's fine. I was just testing that out earlier. Okay, so now we're going to pull up in Unity and have a clean scene here. Let's go to Assets. We're going to go to Import New Asset, and we're going to go to Final Key, Import. Okay, and let's go ahead and drag one into our scene here. Okay, you have to frame it out so it's focus. Okay. Now we want to have our texture attached to it. Now you can see there's a texture attached to it in this one, but not over here. So I just need to bring in my materials and I'll connect that up. So underneath my assets, I'm going to create myself a, let's go into materials. I'll just put a new folder in there. Create folder, and I'll call this one texture files. Okay. And I'll stick my new textures in there. So I'll go to I'll just push this down like this, open up my Unity Maze project folder, go to source images. Okay, and I may as well just bring all of them in there. That way I don't have to bring them in one at a time. Just uncheck those ones, and I'll just drag all of them into here. Okay. Unity will import all those textures. You could go to import texture package and it'll do the same exact thing. It's just going through and processing them now. And it'll just take a minute. It's telling me to hold on, so you guys got to hold on too. I think it's because I have this this Photoshop file in there as well, so it's just taking a minute to convert all these guys in. So bear with me, guys. All right, there we are. Okay. All right, so we have all these texture files in here. This target, these ones here, those are the ones that we used for our keys. We're going to go to Final Key. Let's see here. Go down to the shader here where it says albedo. That is the same thing as the color. So we can just basically take this guy here, drag it into the albedo, and bingo, there's the texture on our key. Cool. Alright, it's all done. Alright. Let's go back to Maya and get ourselves the rest of our scene. Okay, let's go ahead and let's start out by bringing in, I'm going to try to bring it in everything but this piece here. Let's see here. What's this part? That's it. Okay, so I want to bring in everything but my junction box. I'll see if I can just bring that in manually and see if that works out okay. So I'm going to go to File, Export Selection. And let's call this one Maze. We'll call this one Maze Final. Okay, go ahead and export that. Mine's going through and packaging it all up. Okay, back to Unity. And now we're going to go to Assets again. We're going to go to Import New Asset. And we're going to bring in our entire maze. Okay. Okay, I have a little warning down here. It says Model Door 2 contains animation door close, which has a length of 0 frames. Start 1 and 1, it will result in an empty animation, which is fine. Door 2, I don't think should have even came over. Let's just double check that. I don't see any door 2 selected. This whole, that's okay. Door L and R, those are the only ones I have to worry about. So I don't really care if door 2 is whatever one that is. That might just be one I created earlier on. Okay, so let's go ahead and throw this in our scene. Let's see what we have. I'm going to go ahead and just drop it right there. Name it out. Now, something to note is that Maya works in centimeters while Unity works in meters. So if we want this to actually be the scale we want it to be, we'd want to actually have this brought up by be 1,000, but I'm going to do 100. Okay. That looks a little better. And this one actually had all the textures come over with it, which is great. Okay. Perfect. Now, if you're new to Unity, just so you guys know, and this is something to keep in mind when you're working in Maya, that Unity only renders the side where the UVs are facing. So since we were inside Maya, we made sure the UVs are facing inward by reversing the UVs. They're pointing inside so that when you're running around inside our maze here, you can see the textures. But on the outside, you see how it looks transparent? As you rotate around, like it, you can see the other sides, but when you're on the other side, it's transparent just because it's only showing you one side of the UVs. So that makes it to where the roofs are transparent and the walls will be transparent based on which side you're looking at here. Okay, so that looks good. Everything here looks pretty cool. Happy with that. It actually attached all the textures for us, so that pretty much almost makes it to where we're done. So all we have to do now is just bring in our end condition, which is our door. So we're just going to have to export that as well. So we're going to go back in here. We'll select this whole junction here, and we're going to go to File, and we're going to open up the option box for export selection this time. Okay, and we're going to go to, let's see here. There is one in here that has to deal with animations. Okay, so let's make sure I went to the right one. That is it. Okay, well then we'll just go to export selection. Not quite getting the window I was thinking. Oh, it's probably over here, that's why. Okay. Senior moment. Okay, so over here where it says We have animation, bake animation. So make sure that we have bake animation on. So it starts on frame 1, goes to frame 200. 200 means 8 seconds roughly. We don't have 8 seconds, we actually only have a second, so let's just put it at 50. That's actually more than we need. And then let's go ahead and call this one exit, and we'll go to export selection. Okay, let's pop back into Unity and bring in our final piece. Okay, we're going to go to assets, import new asset, and we're going to go to exit and import. Okay, here we are. Let's go to, because we have animations on this one, so we're going to go down to animations, and we're going to go to import animations. That's already on, and where it says take one, we're going to go ahead and call this one door open, and we're going to go to clamp range, and we're going to change this to, let's say, somewhere in here. We'll hit apply. That'll give us our door opening. And then we're going to go create another one, and this one's going to be door close, and or door close. Okay, and same deal. We're going to clamp the range. We're going to bring that down to there. We'll hit apply. Now what that means is the door will start out with a door close option. It'll just stay there at the end, and then when we go to door open, it'll open all the way up, and then it will have a state where it goes back to door close. So it'll open and close and just cycle back and forth between those two different animations. So I'll hit apply on that one as well. Now I don't have an animator set up with the code to make it to where we can call these two animations so you can actually see them inside of Unity. But it's very simple for your programmer to be able to go to Window, go to the let's see here, the animator, and then you can start creating yourself some conditions based off of these guys here that we just created. Okay, so we're going to go back to our old layouts. Okay. All right, so our scene is all made. Let's see here. I don't think I actually put that guy in the scene though. That was supposed to be in here. And we have to do it by 100 by 100. Okay, so I just got to bring it over and put it where it needs to be, which is over in this area, I can tell. Okay, so I'll just bring it over here. Just going to line it up to where it needs to be at. Okay, that looks right. Okay, all the doors are closed. Actually, looks like it needs to come back just a little bit on this side. There we go. Alright, everything else is lined up. Perfect. Cool. Alright, so now all that's left to do is to create colliders for our maze here. Okay, so that is really simple enough. And I'll show you guys how to do one, and I'm going to let you guys do the rest of them just because there's a lot of pieces here to create colliders for. But it's a pretty quick process. And actually, looks like this will probably go kind of quickly. So, because all you have to do is go to Add Component. You just go down to Physics. You just go to Mesh Collider. And that will create a collider based off of the base mesh. Let's have go convex, material, mesh. Okay, let's see if we can just drag, because right now it's saying none per mesh. If this doesn't work, then you'll have to do it piece by piece, which is a little more of a pain. Just go to final maze and just, that's not going to let you do it that way. Of course not. Nope. So you'll have to do it piece by piece, which you might end up just wanting to go and create instead of doing a. I was hoping that wasn't going to make me do it that way, but I guess I didn't test it beforehand. Nope. So what you'll have to do is you just go through, and if it's going to make you do it piece by piece like that, you may as well possibly just, well, grab. Let's see here. Sorry guys, I suppose I probably should have tested that one a little bit more thoroughly before I assumed it would work, but yeah, okay, so that did work. Okay, so I knew that's how it was supposed to be, but it was just for some reason wasn't working on the main. So what you have to do is, so you see how this did take the mesh as its collider. You guys just have to do this for the same kind of deal. You just have to go from piece to piece and just keep grabbing each one, add component, physics, and mesh collider. And then you can see that it's taking that as a collider itself. So you'll have to do that to each one of these components. Don't just try grabbing the whole thing like I did. That was my mistake. So you can always go over here and just go to remove component. But you'll have to go to each one of these individual pieces inside here, and each one you'll have to add that mesh collider, which it's a little tedious, but it will go pretty quick if you start on one side and just kind of keep going all the way through it. So that pretty much buttons it up for this project, guys. You guys have your entire maze inside of Unity. That's all you guys gotta do now is create your player controller and put your player inside the maze and turn them loose and create your parameters for them to find the key and have them try to find their way through your maze and to the exit. So hopefully this is helpful for you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next project.